Hello student, myself Professor Ushali Tapde from ICEEM Engineering College. Today we will see about the activity diagram. Now we are looking forward for the behavioral model of our system. In that activity diagram represents the behavior of our system. Now, before that, in just 2 minutes, we will just revise what is the UML diagram and how the different diagrams are classified under the structural behavioral model of the system. So, UML stands for Unified Modeling Language. It is an industry standard graphical language for specifying, visualizing, constructing and documenting the artifacts of software system. The UML uses mostly graphical notation to express the analysis as well as the design of software project. That means the analysis and designing part of our software projects are graphically represented with the help of UML diagrams. The UML represents a collection of best engineering practices that are very helpful in the modeling large and complex system. Now, why the UML used for the modeling? Because it is mostly used for simplifies the complex process of software design. Then the UML is very important part of developing object-oriented software and software development process. The UML helps project teams to communicate, explore their designs and validate the architectural design of the software. That's why we are using the unified modeling language for modeling. Now, these are the types of UML diagrams. Different diagrams are uh, collected under the different types, that means structural, behavioral and interaction. So different diagrams that comes under the structural is class diagram, component diagram, object diagram, deployment, composite structure and package. We have seen among the class diagram, object diagrams. Okay, next is the behavioral diagram. In the behavioral diagram, the diagrams are activity diagram, state machine and use case diagram. So from these diagrams we are seeing today the activity diagram, which shows the behavioral representation of our system, and the interaction diagram. We have already covered this interaction diagram, that is the communication diagram, sequence diagram and timing diagram. Now, what is the activity diagram? The activity diagram represents the dynamic behavior of the system, how the each activity participated in the communication, that will be represented by the activity diagram. Activity diagrams, they are typically used for business process modeling and modeling the logic that are captured by a single use case or usage scenario. Whatever we have shown in the use case, then how actually they are processed, that are shown with the help of activity diagram. The activity diagram is used to represent the flow across the use case or to represent flow within a particular use case. UML activity diagrams are the object-oriented equivalent of flowchart and the data flow diagrams in the function-oriented design approach. That means activity diagram is similar as we have to draw the flowchart as well as the DFD diagram, which we are used to show the different design approaches. Activity diagram contains activities, then different transition between the activities, decision points, as well as the synchronizations bars, swim lanes and many more. Now, activity diagram describes how activities are coordinated to each other to carry out the particular task, how the actions are being carried out. So, for carrying out that action, how the different activities are communicated with each other, that is shown with the help of activity diagram. It shows the flow of our activities in the diagram. It is particularly useful when you know that an operation has to achieve a number of different things and you want to model what the essential dependencies between them are before you decide in what order to do them. Activity diagram records the dependencies between activities, such as which things can be happen in parallel and what must be finished before something else can start. Then activity diagram, it represents, as I said, the workflow of the process. That means activity diagram, it describes the behavior of our system. Activity diagrams are used in process modeling as well as analysis of during the requirements engineering. A typical business process which synchronize several external incoming events that can be represented by the activity diagram. So, they are most useful for understanding the workflow analysis of a synchronous behavior across a process. Activity diagrams, they are used for, basically what are the uses of activity diagram, they are listed here. First is that documenting existing process. If we want to document the process, then we can use the activity diagram. Second one, analyzing the new process concept. And third, that is finding re-engineering opportunities. That's why we are using the activity diagram. The diagram describes the state of activities by showing the sequence of activities performed. They can show activities that are conditional or parallel. An activity is triggered by one or more events. An activity may result in one or more events that may trigger other activity or process. One activity can trigger the other activities. That means it activates the another activity to carry out that task. Event starts with a start symbol and end with a finish marker having activities in between connected by the events. The activity diagram represents the decision, iteration, and parallel or random behavior of the processing. It captures action that can be performed as well as it can capture the work that is performed by different operations. Now, the next question arises, when to use these activity diagrams. The main reason to use activity diagram is to model the workflow behind the system that is being designed. We need to show the flow of our system. For that purpose, we are using the activity diagram. So, the activity diagrams are helpful or useful for analyzing the use case by describing what actions need to take place and then when they should occur, as well as it is useful for describing a complicated sequential algorithm and modeling application with a parallel process. So, activity diagram should not take the place of interaction diagram and state diagram, but it represents the flow of our system. Activity diagram do not give detail about how objects behave or how objects collaborate. Now, these are the different notations that are used for drawing the activity diagram. The first one is that activity. So, the core symbol that is used for the activities is shown here. This is the symbol that is used for showing the different activities inside the activity diagram. An activity is some task which need to be done, that is an operation which we have to carry out. Each activity can be followed by another activity, that means connected with another activity. An activity may be manual thing so that it's not necessarily in a program. The second notation that is used in activity diagram is nothing but a transmission. When the action or activity of a state completes, flow of control passes immediately to the next action or activity state with the help of this transmission flow. It represents the flow of control shown by this arrow symbol. So, arrow symbol is used for representing the flow of our activities. Then next notation is the starting and ending nodes. The starting nodes is represented, or we can say this is also called as the initial node, which is the source of flow of control. Okay, so starting node is nothing but a source of flow of control from which our diagram is get started. Next is the ending nodes. The destination of a flow of control, where our flow of control is get ended, at that time we are using this symbol for showing the ending node. The next notation that is used in activity diagram is join and fork notation. So, what is the join and what is fork? We will see it. Join, a block bar with several flows entering in it and one leaving from it. That means when we have a multiple incoming inputs and we want to join all these inputs to produce only one output, in that case we can use this join symbol which denotes the end of parallel activities. Next is a fork symbol, a block bar with the one flow going into it and several leaving it. That means when we want to take some decision, that means we have only one incoming source or we can only one incoming input. On that basis we have to take some decision and convert it into the multiple paths. In that case we are using this fork symbol. This is an example for the join and fork. That means first activity is nothing but a prepare for speech. Then it will we have only one input, so it is we are converting it into the multiple path by taking the decision. So this is nothing but a fork symbol. Here we are using prepare for speech, and then we are have a multiple path. One is a gesture, another is a decompress. And then this is again we are showing here the fork symbol, that is one incoming input, and we are dividing it into the multiple paths. Now if you are look at here, this is nothing but a join. These two are nothing but a fork symbol, where it is nothing but a join. We are joining the multiple inputs and converting them into the single output, so to give the desired output. The next notation that is used in activity diagram is the decision and merge. So decision, a diamond with one flow entering and several leaving. That means this is a decision box in which have only one incoming symbol and multiple outgoing. So this is called as a decision symbol, which includes the flow leaving includes condition as yes or no state. If condition satisfied, then it goes to this, or if condition not satisfied, then we go perform the another task. In this way, based on the decision, we will follow the path. Then the merge symbol, a diamond with several flows entering and one leaving. That means it has the multiple incoming and just one outgoing symbol, that is a merge. We can merge the multiple inputs and produce only one output. That for that purpose we are using the merge notation. Next is the flow fine line swim lane. The flow final, the circle with a cross. This symbol is used for showing the flow final. This indicates that process stop at this end. Our process is finished. Whereas swim lines, these are used for partitioning the activity diagram by means of dashed lines. Here we are showing the swim lines. It is partitioning our activity diagram. They are called as a swim lane. This swim lane may be horizontal or vertical. You can show it in a horizontal way or a vertical way. The dashed line that is used between the activities to make partitions between the activity. Each zone represents the responsibilities of a particular class or department. Now, what is the basic difference between the join and merge? Both are doing the same thing. Join is also combining the multiple input and giving one output. Similar, the merge is also performing the same task. Then what is the difference between the join and merge? The join is different from a merge in that the join synchronizes two inflows and produces the single outflow. The outflow from a join cannot execute until all inflows have been received. Okay, whereas the merge passes any control flows straight through it. If two or more inflows are received by merge symbol, the action pointed to by its outflow is executed two or more times. This is the basic difference between the join and merge. Here one of the example of activity diagram. If you look at here, we are showing the passengers arrive at check-in. Passenger wants to travel, so it arrives at the check-in. So we have to show it accepting an event. We are showing that this is an event. Event can be shown with the help of this symbol. Now this is nothing but an activity. What is the activity? Passengers check-in. So in that case, whenever passenger comes for the check-in, it will take the decision. If it is a proper all the proofs are proper, then it will allow to boards, otherwise the processes get stopped. Okay, so here we are using the decision box. If else, so if the passenger boards and luggage is loaded onto the loaded into the airplane, in that case we are using the fork symbol, only one input and multiple output. That means all the proofs are clear, so the passenger boards as well as its luggage is loaded into the airplane. Now once all these things are happened, we are joining the output, whatever the output comes from these activities, we are joining them into the single result, that is a airplane moves towards the runway. This is the action that is takes place, and here our flow is get ended. This is the another example of activity diagram. Now with the help of this horizontal swim line, we are dividing we can say we can create the partitions between the different activities done by the different things, that is the system, register and students. Okay. Now what we have started here, student has to fill in the form. If then register check that form. If that form is correct, then it will display the student screen. If it is not correct, then it will again ask student to fill the correct form. Okay, so here we are using the decision symbol. Now when it check the form, if it is correct, then it will display the student screen. That is, this action is performed with the help of this activity. After displaying the student screen, in the system section, what it does, it inputs the student information. It asks student to input its information, and then it will gives the two outputs. That means it verify the application that is given by the student, as well as search for the student selection list. Whatever the student want to search, it will search for that student selection list. Now if the application is verified, that is found it verified, then it will goes to the next again to the system. If it is not verified, then it regrets the message and stop that process. Now look at here, once it search for the student selection list, if it is applicable, then it will say that if it is matches, then it will create the record for that user. If it does not matches, then it will regret that registration and stop the process. So in this way we can draw the activity diagram for the student filler form. Now what are the drawbacks of the activity diagram? Activity diagram tell you what is happening but not who does what. Okay, it show you the flow of your system but does not show who does what, who is doing what are the things. So in domain modeling, this diagram type does not convey which people or departments are responsible for each activity. In programming, it does not convey which class is responsible for which activity. So these are the drawbacks of our activity diagram. I hope the concept of activity diagram is clear to everyone. Thank you.